Welcome to ITD122, Computer Applications for Professionals. The purpose of this movie is just to introduce you to the layout of the class in Blackboard and your class in SIMnet and what those two things are. What we're looking at right now is your class in Blackboard, and of course it says fall of 2017, and your announcement page may look slightly different. You may have a different banner here, but for the most part, you're going to go into a screen that has your announcements. So you're going to land in this course on the announcements page. So look at that each week and try and keep up with what's going on with the class through this announcement page. If you look over here on the left, you'll see the navigation bar for Blackboard, and as you begin the course you want to go into this Start Here folder, and then after the initial week you would go to Lessons to complete your pause and practice and your case studies. Those are the things that are completed within Blackboard. For the rest of your assignments, you will use the link here that says SIMnet, and that link will take you to the SIMnet product, which comes with your textbook. And in the SIMnet environment, you would complete your Let Me Tries, your guided and independent projects, as well as your extra credit. Your 5 tests for this class will be in the SIMnet product. Okay, so it's important that you get your SIMnet code, that you get your SIMnet product paired with your Blackboard product, and that's in a different movie. Okay, but every time you want to go to SIMnet, you want to use this link that's right here. We're going to begin by looking in, we're going to look in Start Here. And so every folder that you go into, whether it's in the Start Here in the lessons, it's created very much the same layout, where you have an overview of what that chapter is or what that area is, and it has a breakdown in between the things that you need to read and review and the things you need to do. There's a materials folder, which if you click in materials would have the PowerPoints and movies, any kind of materials that would supplement and help you with the content of that chapter. Since we're in the Start Here, it's all the stuff that helps you get up and running in this class. And so the one that, oh, it's spelled wrong, calendar. So the first one that you want is this ITD122 syllabus and calendar. This is like a contract between you and your instructor. You want to make sure that you read through this. I highly recommend, so here's the point breakdown, I highly recommend that you print out both the assignment list, and then if your instructor provides the calendar version, that will be your go-to document for when things are due and what things are assigned. Okay. I'm going to use the breadcrumbs, go back to the Start Here, and then here's your assignments. So for your Start Here, there's 3 assignments. There's a syllabus quiz, which after you're done reading the syllabus, you would want to take this quiz. There's an honesty and learning assessment, which also the material for that is found inside your syllabus. You would want to do that, read that, have it handy if you want while you're taking the honesty and learning assessment. Both of these have 10 questions. And then there's a Who Are You discussion post. So you would go in here and there's you want to put your name there's a couple things that you want to do to introduce yourself to the instructor and to the rest of your classmates. So those are your assignments for the Start Here folder. Let's go look at the Lessons folder. And so I'm going to go into this Windows 10 Office 2016. Once again, it's that same layout. Here's your overview, here's the materials, and here's the assignments. There's a big yellow note, and you'll see this on every overview for the first chapter of a product. Inside the materials folder for that product, whether it's Word, Excel, or whatever, there is a study guide. I recommend that you open that study guide, print it out. These are the features and the functions and the things that you need to be able to do to complete the tests that goes with the, that product. I would use this as an outline as you go through the material, and I would go as far as putting in a page number. If it's something you don't know how to do or you're not comfortable with, as you see it in the textbook, put a page number next to your handout so that that is readily available to you when you take your test. Okay, the assignments. So for the assignments for this first chapter is just found in the SIMnet. So anytime you see this, you'll know that you need to go to your SIMnet link, get to your SIMnet system, and complete whatever is required for that chapter. Okay, so I'm going to go to a different lesson, the Word, because that one's got a more in the assignment. Once again, first Word chapter, it's got the same thing. You have the Word test study guide, print that out. But if we go into the assignments, you'll see that there's two things here. So for the first chapter, the Windows chapter, there's only the SIMnet assignment, the Let Me Try, and then there's a test. Starting with Word, you have the Pause and Practice, which is the assignments that are within your textbook, and there's usually 3 or 4 of these pause and practices throughout the chapter. When you submit the pause and practice, the completed file, you would do that inside Blackboard. And it's this link here, you would click on that link, and you would use any of the files that you need, and then here's where you would browse, find your file, upload it, and submit it. That is submitted into Blackboard. That is hand graded by your instructor. All of the materials completed in SIMnet are automatically graded, and you would get immediate feedback. So with the pause and practice, there's a couple things. First of all, it's the thing you do in Blackboard. Second thing is you want to make sure that you look at what files are needed, download those from Blackboard. So this disclosure statement, I'm going to click on that, and it actually brought it up. So I want to do there, and I wonder why it's not. Okay, it's bringing it up. So I would save it, and it would be ready for you to use. Okay, notice here it says submitted file. So I don't submit anything until you are done with the pause and practice Word 1-3. So they build on each other. So for the first one, there's no startup file. So you begin with a blank. You follow the directions in your textbook. You get done with the pause and practice 1-1. You go to pause and practice 1-2. You use the file that you ended in 1-1 to begin 1-2. In addition, you're going to need this disclosure statement to complete the steps in 1-2. 1-3, you use your ending file from 1-2. When that is done, that is what you submit. The file would always be your initials. So for me, it would be HJM, PP for pause and practice. The product that you're in, so we're in Word, and it's chapter 1, and there's 3 pause and practices. So that's kind of the standard for your file. You would complete that and submit it and get graded. You can submit this 1 time. Your SIMnet projects, you would be able to submit 3 times and get a grade. So I'm going to skip selecting this SIMnet because this is the master course and it's not paired. So I'm just going to go over to my SIMnet classroom. So this would be what you would see if you go use the link to get to SIMnet. So once you get that SIMnet account set up and you get it paired, the minute you click that link, you're going to come over here. Each chapter and each group has its own tile. So as you can see, the first one is practice tests. So in here, there are practice tests for every live test that you do. Understand, these are just practice. You can do these as many times as you want, but they don't count towards your grade. Then the first one here is your Windows. So that's your Let Me Try for the sim book. There's another movie on how to do your Let Me Tries. I would recommend watching that. Here's your test, which right now is not available, but you would watch the dates on your syllabus calendar to know when that's open and available. Word Chapter 1. So orange is the Let Me Tries, and then the blues are the projects. Now, this class is over, so I just opened one of these without a due date, but as you look through here, you would always have the due date listed, so pay attention to that, and there would always be a guided and an independent, and then an independent, and then this is the extra credit. So you watch that extra credit. It's usually lined up guided, independent, extra credit right up here at the top. Okay, actually I think if I would go to PowerPoint, that's still open. So let me look here. Nope, it's closed. Okay. So they would be lined up across, right? So this is required, this is required, your independent is required, and then the extra credit is optional. This is worth 2 extra points. So if you would get 100% on everything in this class, plus do every extra credit, you could achieve 102% in this class. But what this is extra credit is not only for points that can help you, but for further practice that will enable you to have a strong grasp on the content of that chapter. Okay, so always go to assignments, use your groups to get to your appropriate assignment for that chapter. If you want to go back to Blackboard as a pair, there will be Return to LMS up here, and when you click on it, it will return you back to your Blackboard classroom. Okay, so that is a brief introduction to the layout of ITD122. As always, guys, make sure that you communicate with your instructor if you have any questions or problems. All right, thank you. Good luck.